Oh, what is happening, everybody? Welcome to episode 181 of the Segment Podcast. We are live and we're on tonight because this upcoming weekend is going to be Mountain High's grand opening. So I know I got the guys, Amando and Tyler, are going to be hopping on here in a little bit. I think we have some technical issues, so we'll see if they jump on. But while I have you guys here, want to give you guys some shout outs as we get going. Plus, I have some giveaways as well. Five Dev sent out some really sweet chain rings courtesy of Velo Hanger out in San Diego. Thank you. Shout out to Gordon for these. We're going to give these away. We have a chain ring for gravel. Got two of those. We're going to give away tonight. And then if you need a chain ring, this is a 32 tooth in this beautiful purple. Look at that. That is going out. So how do you win those? All you got to do is put it in the chat and put in there that you want them. And if you want them, you got them. And I will make sure that they get out to you. So while we're hanging out, I know we have Mountain High opening this weekend. I am going to just go ahead and share with you guys dun, 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 what it's going to look like. They open up on Saturday and it's going to be awesome. Oh, yeah. Hey, what's up, JT? Yes, those do look sick. And it's so purpley. It is purpley. So this is a 32 tooth chain ring. And if you want this for your gravel bike, grab this one. You can get this one. It's a black one. And that's for gravel. But if you want this for your 32 tooth, just put it in there. Put it in there. I want it. I want it. And you can have it. Yes, it is so purpley. It is so purpley. Electric Trail Surfer is joining us out there. It says, let's go and hello from Sky Tavern Ski Resort Bike Park, riding and listening. Yes, yes. Sweet. So stoked you could be on. I love it. I love it. I see that Amando just jumped on backstage. He's in the green room. We're gonna get him out here in a little bit. Welcome aboard, Amando. Thanks for joining, brother. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. JT, I did see that you wanted the gravel ring, so there you go from the folks over at Velo Hanger. That is courtesy of them via Gordon. That is yours right there. I'll be sending that out to you, JT. And let me get this up for you guys real fast too. We got the whole presentation here. Not a whole presentation. Yes, that was easy. That was easy. Definitely easy. That's coming your way. Let me get up Mountain High's website before I get our guest on tonight. We're going to share this one. And this is cool because you guys, we have another bike park coming in and it's going to be so cool. So I'll bring that down and I will bring up our guest, Amando. What's
Hey,
happening,
how's it
Amando?
going?
Good. How are you, brother?
Good, man. A little nervous. Sorry, I was late.
Oh,
Just,
no worries.
I
No
literally
worries at
just got
all.
off the trails, man.
Oh, dang. That is
Yeah.
awesome. Um, we're totally excited about this. A brand new bike park coming in, and I think it's going to be the closest one to all of us out here in the valley, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, pretty much. We're a pavement resort. We're not really like a destination. We don't have, big hotels or anything like that, and not the mountain driving, that some of the other resorts require for their guests. We just people can either hop on the 15 138 to the 2, and it's just kind of a straight shot for most people, yeah, out in the valley and everything. So we're really excited about all that. So
That is cool. That
yeah,
is really cool.
good
I'm
times.
excited too. I think I went to Mountain High when I was a kid, and if
Yeah.
I remember, it's above Rancho Cucamonga. Is that about right where it's at?
Yeah, you could say that pretty much, kind of like on the backside of Mount Baldy area.
Okay.
So yeah, we could
Okay.
see Mount Baldy from like the top of our chairlifts and stuff, and we were like kind of right adjacent to like Mount Baden Powell, where you can actually see Los Angeles. So
Wow.
yeah, Yeah, not too
Uh,
far from Los Angeles too. About an hour, 40 minutes. Hour, 20 minutes, depending on traffic.
Yeah, yeah, I know, right? Always depends on when you're talking to LA, you're talking the traffic
Yeah,
could be an hour to go 10 miles, but in any way, in any sense, like we all have to travel your way to get to Sky Park, Snow Valley, or Snow Summit. We're going
hmm
to be kind of like passing through to the turnoffs to Mountain High. Um,
yeah, yeah,
so it's gonna
yeah,
be
yeah, kind of, sort of, yeah. I'd say,
yeah,
yeah,
it'll be a great option for us all. I know
yeah,
last summer, I think we saw a blip last summer. You guys
yeah.
opened for a week or something like that?
No, no. Oh
No.
man, last summer was such a bummer. We were a week away from opening, and the bridge fire came through and just it devastated the resort. We were even on the fence if about opening for the ski season, and
Oh
I
my gosh.
yeah, it came through. It was wild. We saw where it was around noon, and within like 3 hours, it was right on top of us. And luckily, some of the crew, the snowmakers, and they were able to turn on some of the actual like snowmaking equipment. And honestly, I think that's what saved us. And it's funny, even our owner and GM, they were telling us that the trail that we had built, our green trail, had actually was kind of like a fire break line
No
behind all of like
way.
the lodge. Yeah, it once you guys see, if once people ride, our green trail used to go through all kinds of like manzanita and thorn bush, on that western side of the resort. That's all gone now. It still looks nice, but it's all gone.
Dude, I remember seeing pictures and like the news would grab pictures of like the chairlift and then it would have like fire all over it. I was just like, is Mountain
Yeah,
High? I couldn't even tell back then. It would look so engulfed in flames.
we all thought it was going to be gone. I'll be 100% honest with you. I remember looking at the trail builders' faces, me included. I'm not gonna lie. We all looked at the mountain. Just, it was devastating. It was heartbreaking, because uh, me and my partner, my assistant director of ski patrol, Joseph Valdez. We've been working on this, with our upper management and with the Forest Service now for the better part of 5 years, getting everything approved, and just working really closely with them. They're a great group of individuals over at the Forest Service. They're in LA, and in LA County, and to watch it all go up in flames, is it we were really bummed because we'd worked so hard. We really were wanted to
Yeah.
open up, and we were going to have two trails ready to go for everybody, and it was not to be. We didn't even know if we were going to have jobs for the winter time.
Dude, that's so wild. That's
Yeah,
so wild. And Mountain
yeah.
High's been open for how long have you guys been open? You guys been
The
open for a while, right? For skiing.
e- For skiing, yeah, the Big Pines area, it just celebrated like their 100th year anniversary, and that's back when it was like the Holiday Hill type of era, and then Mountain High came through, and then it purchased the Mountain High East area, and then going from Mountain High East and West to then purchasing Ski Sunrise in the later 90s and then 2000s, and then now it's it's three resorts actually now, so it's
Oh,
east, west, and north. But the
oh,
area has been around since, I guess, like 1925, 1927.
holy cow. Was that the
Yeah.
first time that the resort has ever been through a fire like that?
No, I know of the fire. I believe it was in. Oh, I remember the Charmin fire, and that was started from like a camper who, I guess, she was like burning some toilet paper in the
Oh, no.
backside there, and it actually came up. It got away from the person in the camper, and it ended up coming up the backside. And that's why a lot of our trails that are over on that western ridge are called they're off of Inferno Ridge, so they're called, Wildfire, Backfire, O2, Hot Shots, all that stuff. So that's actually
Oh,
that was kind of like an ode to that fire that happened. I think it was like in the or mid '90s, I believe. Yeah, that was
okay,
before
okay.
my time. I did ski there when I was a little kid, but it was before my time of working there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you grow up out that way, at the resort,
I
or
did. I did.
you
I
did?
grew
No
up.
way.
Yeah, I grew up in a small town, a small community in the high desert called Phelan, and I went to high school and had a lot of friends that lived up in Wrightwood, and I eventually moved up to Wrightwood later on after school and everything like that. But no, I'm a local, and I think that's and so are the guys that are helping build this bike park, and I think that's why we've just been so driven to really finish this because we all want to just have something that we didn't have when we were kids, and for me it's I want to see my nieces and nephews and everything enjoy it along with my friends' kids and everything. It's we just want to bring something more to the Wrightwood area, to the San Gabriel Mountains.
That's so cool. That's so rad. Well,
Yeah,
so yeah, getting into the bike park thing. So they did so many years on snow, and
yeah.
then is this their first venture into opening up the mountain for bike, or had they done it before in the past?
I think they've done it before in the past because we actually found some old like Cannondale run like maps of Mountain High
Oh,
that
oh,
they
dang.
actually yeah, actually I I wish I had brought it, but I totally forgot it. I could show you guys. But no, we actually have some old Mountain High maps from like the early '90s that they had some trails cut in there um, on the ski runs. But that didn't really stick around. I think it was only for a few years, and then I would say about 15 years ago, they were trying again, but it just kind of the planning kind of fell through. I think some trail builders wanted to build in between the resorts and not on the actual resort property, which kind of involves like a whole other permitting process
Oh, I
with the
can
Forest
imagine.
Service. So I think it just didn't really take off. Yeah,
Wow, I can imagine. Yeah,
yeah.
that would be tough. If you try to go off the resort, that would be really hard.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people know about it, but there's a lot that goes into it. Just the background of just having to, you know, the environmental impact that you have on the forest. They were very the Forest Service is very they do a very good job of protecting just the natural environment. And nobody wants to see anything get destroyed,
Yeah,
or get an imprint, a footprint on it. But no, we I think this time around, I think that the Forest Service manager of our area really kind of saw what we were trying to plan and what we wanted to do, because it originally was planned to be at the North Resort, where we kind of have like a very old like rustic lodge, and we already have disc golf there. It's like our main area of entertainment for the community. It has they have they have like a concert series, a summer concert series that they started a few years ago, which is
so
pretty
fun.
popular. Yeah, it's a great place. They have really good food and everything, and you know, myself and Joseph Valdez and another our grooming manager actually, Scott Spears. We went up there and we were looking at the terrain. It's still really nice terrain. I still want to build on it, um, but
Maybe an expansion
it's got
forthcoming.
yeah, it really should be. No, it's got that perfect pitch. It's got that really nice grade and rolling hills. Just really nice. Just ideal. Um, we kind of we drew up a little bit of a map, and then we kind of did like a drone video of riding through the area with kind of like a line following us, and we came up with this whole presentation, um and they were like, why don't you guys just do this at your East and West resort? And we're
Sick.
like, okay,
Yeah.
so then we went back to the drawing board, and it's been working out. So we're
That
really thankful for that.
that is awesome. Were you when you so you've been on board with this whole plan from the start, getting the bike park opened up. Was that was
Yeah.
it nerve-wracking to go through a lot of these steps to get something done? Did it feel like a big, like, overwhelming process, or did you have a lot of help and a team to help out?
We had a I mean, I'll be 100% honest with you. It all started with uh, with my sister Desiree Hernandez. She went to Spider Mountain in Texas. She was the one of the I want to say the operations manager there, and she definitely showed us the way and what they built there. I don't know if you've ever been. I highly recommend it. It's right outside of Austin, Texas, and I went to go visit, and we went to I went to go visit with the assistant director Joey Valdez, and we we went there, and they're doing it out of like a couple connexes, and they got their bike techs out there. They've got their we call it retail, their bike patrol. It was just a real jaw dropping experience of seeing all that come together in that such a tiny little mountain, and it really worked for them. And so we came back and we talked to our GM, Ben Smith, and our mountain manager Dave Picata, and we told them, like, why aren't we doing this? Like Big Bear, Summit and Snow Valley, which I'm going to give them a lot of credit too. They've helped me out a lot. Chris O'Connell over at the Bike Patrol there, I love that guy. They've given us a lot of really good feedback. I really appreciate. Shout out to Summit. And no, they said, hey, let's get it going. And our general manager, he's been a big supporter of everything that the trail builders have been doing, because we did this all in house. None of us
Wow.
we they sent us to quite a few bike summits, at like up in Park City and in at Deer Valley at the Deer Valley Resort, and then one at Winter Park, um, to just really learn from Dirt Tech and Gravity Logic, and had a lot of meetings with IMBA, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, just a lot of meetings with them. It was, I honestly will say, it was, I thought it was just us going out there and putting the shovel in the ground, and with a few excavators and calling it good, right? And
Yeah.
and it's not, it really isn't. So you have to really, you have to really prep for this type of thing, operations and maintenance, guidelines, and a handbook, and job descriptions. And I will honestly say that we've had a great group of individuals at Mountain High, that have really helped me get to where we're at now. And I'm a little nervous for this weekend, to be honest with you. I know that,
Sure,
you
yeah.
know, but I can only say that we're here right now, and you know I really appreciate all the hard work that the guys have been doing, and I know that they're really excited to just keep building more. And I'm there too, and we're just gonna keep on building, and
Good.
hopefully the people like us.
Oh, I'm sure they will. I had no
Yeah.
idea it was such an undertaking to get to the point where you can open. That's
Oh yeah.
bananas. Holy
Yeah,
crap.
yeah, I like I said, I hats off to the GM and the mountain manager. They definitely crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's, and a lot of the documentation and environmental impact studies that go along with,
Sheesh.
um yeah, you got to have like archaeologists come out and look and make sure that,
Wow.
because I wouldn't say we're on tribal land, because there isn't like an established type of group like that in our mountainous area, but the territory did at one point in time belong or was inhabited by the Serrano Indians. That's the name even of the high school.
Okay.
So yeah, you gotta definitely look at if there's any type of there's any kind of archaeological findings there. You definitely have to see if there's any kind of wetlands, if there's any kind of endangered species, endangered like uh, uh, I remember at one point in time we thought we were going to be like kind of put on hold last year because of an owl, but then there hadn't been any sightings of that owl in our area of the resort in some time. So we all kind of took like a big deep breath, like,
Deep
oh
breath.
man, like what's gonna happen. But it ended up not being an issue, and honestly, I haven't seen an owl in a while, so it's just kind of you gotta be able to accept all of those things, and the Pacific Crest Trail runs right through. Well, I wouldn't say right through. It runs on the backside of our resort too. So
Oh,
I think if
wow.
yeah, if we ever do end up building at the East Resort, which is part of one of our phases, um, we will have to avoid that. And they definitely don't want us to have any type of any kind of crossings or any kind of interaction with that trail because it is a very popular trail. People from all over the world do it every year. It goes from
Right.
Mexico to Canada or Canada to Mexico, whichever spot you start off from first. So we definitely had to take into account of where we built these first green trail, Little Pines. Um, because it was a little close to the PCT on one side. So we
Dang.
definitely avoided it. Yeah. Yeah, there's a
Dang.
lot to it. There's a lot to it.
Oh.
So when people are like, why didn't you build here? It's like, we can't, there's laws,
Yeah.
there's things, there's people that protect this stuff, and you got to
Yeah.
respect it. It's been around for a long time, and it's an established hiking trail. So, can't argue with that. We
Totally.
enjoy the forest a different way, and they enjoy their forest a different way. And at least we're out there, right?
Yeah, exactly. Outside having fun. Man,
Yeah.
so when you were getting all this together, the whole team, Mountain High, getting this bike park to open, while they're doing a lot of that administrative stuff, were you guys allowed to like build on your own private land? And then as you're trying to achieve this opening it to the public, or does it go in phases where you have to dot all those I's first before you could even take the shovel out there?
Oh yeah, you got to dot all those I's, cross all those T's
Whoa.
before you touch anything. Yeah. No,
Whoa.
you even have to it's almost like the process of like when you change your name, you have to put out like a letter of intent to the public, and basically stating, hey, we want to build a bike park, and if anybody has any grievances, like they have to, they have to be addressed. And luckily, I think the majority of people in Wrightwood and the people in the area, they've been really supportive. Wrightwood's a great town, and they I think they are very welcoming to something new to the area. It's
Yeah.
not just a ski town. It's a mountain town, and people do a lot of things. There's a lot of trails that are out on the adjacent slopes of our resort that people have built on their own and that are really cool and a lot of fun. So having lift access is awesome, and
Oh,
something
yeah.
that everyone can look forward to.
Lift access is gonna
Yeah,
be awesome.
yeah, yeah, right. But there are some resorts that don't have it, and I think they do great too. But yeah, lift access is lift access.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point,
Yeah.
Sky Park does a really good job and
Oh
creates
yeah.
a nice
Yeah.
ambiance and fun and everything.
Yeah. Yes. Sky Park is actually I I think that place is great. I really like it a lot, and they've actually inspired me to. We have a wood mill, and we mill a lot of hazardous trees or fallen trees, and unfortunately now a lot of the burned trees that
Mm.
exist on our resort, and we've actually reincorporated that lumber and that milled wood into our trails, and
Oh,
eventually,
cool.
I would like to have a trail that's 95% all just wooden banks and bridges and teeter totters and just, yeah, all day long. I want to have that. So
That would
I
be
think Sky Park's awesome.
that would be insane, like a Arrow on Mountain High's version of Arrow, like on, just a
Yeah,
bunch of, wood features and dude, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see the trails out there. I don't
yeah,
know if a lot of people have been out there in the winter. Unfortunately, I haven't been out there in the winter, but
yeah,
so it'll all be brand new to me going out there on bike, and, I guess, I have the map or I have the website here. I wanna show the folks if we could, maybe we could talk about the trails and what
sure.
they could expect and how it was to build it. Um, is that gonna be will I find those on the website, Amando?
You should be able to. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure they put those up already. I'm
Okay,
not,
let's see. We might be ahead of our time, but let's check it
yeah,
out. So, I'm on the Mountain High website now, let's
yeah.
see, and, let's go to there's lessons, connect conditions, the resort. Here we go. Um, trail
No,
map.
no, ma'am. Trail
Look at
map.
that.
Is it there? No,
Okay.
that's the snow
No,
one.
that's snow. Let's go
Oh,
to ooh, do you think there cams on the trails?
no, not yet. Just at the top of the
Okay.
resort. Yeah, right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we actually just built some huge gates for both trails at the top.
Oh,
Again, with
wow.
wood that we milled from the trees that were designated to be felled by the Forest Service. And yeah, we milled some like 4 by 6 by like 15-foot beams. Oh, there you go.
Holy
There's the trail
cow.
right there.
Here we go. Yeah,
Yeah,
here we go.
this
So
little
it looks
guy.
like, it says, trail map, green circle, oh yeah, this is the designations. Okay, we got green. Let's start with Little Pines,
Little pines.
Lilpines, Little Pines. I love the name. It says distance 2.4 miles. Description perfect for beginners. This trail lets you enhance your skills while also providing a comfortable feel. Little Pines is the easiest route down. Provides smooth, wide open terrain. This trail has minimal obstacles and allows the rider to navigate with confidence. Dude, this looks long. 2.4 miles?
Yeah, yeah, it's a good one. And you drop about I want to say elevation change is about 1,000 feet. So you get a good ride out of it. It's it's funny. We had a our one of our insurance carriers. He walked the trail with us, and he's like, "Wow, you guys have the widest trail in North America." We built it with we built it with a 306 excavator, and then a smaller excavator too. I don't remember the size of that one, but no, we ended up getting going a little big on it. Just I think because we do have a lot of steep terrain. So like if you're looking at that map, kind of in the center, it's kind of like a little bit of a bowl, and the San
Right,
Gabriels are known for being steeper mountains because of the San Andreas Fault that runs like right through them.
right
And
through there. Ooh.
yeah, yeah. So, and I want to, I don't remember the specifics. I think it's like a strike slip fault. So, that type of fault, it creates a steeper mountain. Not very tall, but they are steep. And we're not the same elevation as Barron Summit, but we're just a little shorter than they are. But since we have that type of steep terrain, we were definitely faced with some challenges of being able to have a green on the resort property and making it safe for everybody. We wanted to definitely make sure that in some of the areas, like right in the center up there up top, where we kind of have like that straight line, that's some of our steepest terrain on the mountain, and we wanted to
Wow.
have just straight sight lines so that nobody was intimidated by what may be on the other side of said, breakover, or we just wanted to make sure that people, if they wanted to, they could, pull over to the side if someone was behind them. And I think honestly the smallest air, like the smallest width that we have on that trail is probably 4 feet.
Okay, okay.
So it's pretty big. But no, we definitely made it relatively easier. But I think that in the future, we may have some like chainless events on that thing. It definitely poses some challenges that are not too difficult, but it definitely will keep a beginner rider. It won't intimidate a beginner rider, but it'll keep them coming back to improve their skills and challenge them a little bit. I think that's what we wanted in the long run, and I think it's there. I think that even more experienced riders will be able to ride with their friends and have a good time, because we did put in some little hidden gems, little jumps in there, little
Oh,
side
yeah.
pits that
Oh,
yeah that
love those.
yeah, man, we put them in there. We had two trail builder guys, man, that they really send it, and Connor and Kyle, and they were, every time they'd look at me and go, Mondo, can we put something right here? Yeah, man, let's do it. It's off the main established trail, but it's mountain bikers are always looking for the next best thing, right? They're always looking for
So
something
so
that new
fun.
line, and we definitely incorporated that into this green trail, even though it is more focused towards the beginner, easier trail for them.
That's fun, man. I
Yeah,
always love going down, like, a warm-up green, and then I find myself sometimes throughout the day going back to it just because the flow, and you
yeah,
can find those hidden gems. I remember I was at Luiseno, and,
yeah,
MTB King Queen and I were following, one of the, trail builders out there, and it was just
mm,
unlocking new stuff, and I was like, "Never saw that before. That's freaking
yeah,
awesome." It
yeah.
becomes a
Uh,
spicy green.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I mean, that was another thing that we did a lot last summer. And then knowing that the trail was still there, and we were lucky enough to have that already established trail and riding it, we were like, okay, hey, we can kind of change this up a little bit. This turn was a little too sharp. Let's push it out a little bit more, because unfortunately, the fire was devastating, but it did help us in a sense of, we had to make a tighter turn because there was this tree right there, and then the fire came through and the tree's gone, and it was like, okay,
Oh,
cool. Well, man, let's move
open
it,
that up.
and then, oh,
Yeah.
you know what? Hey, there's a stump here now. Like, let's build a jump through it. This tree fell on top of the trail. Let's build the trail over this log.
Sweet.
And so yeah, we definitely used it to our advantage, and we were a little creative with it. But yeah, no, that green trail also, it feeds right into our skills park,
Oh, I see
which
that
is,
towards
yeah,
the
a little,
bottom there. Yeah?
yeah, it's a little skills park, and for right now, it has three little kind of mini trails, one with berms and jumps kind of integrated at the same, a little smaller, along with just a little jump line, and then a little turn and berm line that just basically introduces people who have never really ridden, or are beginning, and maybe they want to just kind of practice before they go out there. It introduces them to everything that's on our trail to
That
start off.
that's
Yeah.
cool, and it's down towards the bottom, so, do you have to take a lift if you wanted to just ride the skills park, or can you come from the parking lot and just start to warm up
You,
there?
you could start in the parking lot. It's not that far of a walk, and we actually have a conveyor that runs alongside it, and we are planning on running that
Oh,
during operations. So yeah, people can just kind of step up on the conveyor and with their bike, and then just kind of walk off of it, and then the skills park is right there.
Oh,
Yeah,
sick. That is sick. I'm looking,
yeah,
through the website to see if there's photos of that stuff, but I think it's just so new that there's not a lot of I can't find
yeah.
maybe on
We started that. It's been in planning, but we started building it about 2 weeks ago. So I don't think they have too many photos of it.
oh,
So
man.
we
That's really
our
cool.
marketing manager Tyler Shippey, he kind of wanted to he kind of wanted to slowly introduce things here and there because people were kind of like, oh, it's flat, there's nothing there, and then he would introduce like a video of a jump, and then I think he just put in a couple of some footage on the Instagram of a little rock drop that we put on the
Yes.
breakaway trail, which we were messing around with that at first, and then it was like, no, this actually works. And breakaway is that little trail that connects to. Oh yeah, there's a video right there. Yeah, Tyler's a great guy, man. We love him. He's another local guy that has a great passion for our mountain, and you know and just wants to be a part of it and watch it grow. And he's been a great supporter of everything that we've been building. I have a lot of respect for that guy.
That's awesome. He seems like a really nice guy. It seems
He
like
is.
you need a tight team to undertake all of the things that you guys have had to step through in order to get to opening day. So,
Yeah.
yeah, here's a little bit of footage of the trail right there. I think is this the breakaway? Oh, there's the rock drop.
There. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
And we
sick.
and right there you can only really see two options for that drop.
Uh-huh.
There's actually three of them. So that's
Ooh,
like that's yeah. See, so that's another thing. So there's the rock drop, so you can just kind of like ride off of it, in that ready position, or we made it so that you can see the entire trail from the very top of the breakover. But we actually are building a separate little break off because there is like a little rocky cliff to the left of
to
that,
the left.
to
Okay.
those drops. Oh, to the right if you're riding the trail, but to the left, looker's left if you're looking at it. And it's just a perfect little rollover cliff jump that drops you right into the same line as those other two lines. So
Yeah, I
um
think this guy takes it right there.
yeah,
No?
it's
Yeah.
actually, yeah, no, it's further to the left of the
Oh,
tree where he just
further.
jumped. Yeah.
Oh,
So we it is a blue trail, and that I think that drop is going to be more of a expert rider type of drop.
okay.
So it is going to have kind of like a split trail, and we'll put a little, uh you know how would you say it, like a little sign with character there,
Yeah.
saying like, experts only, maybe like a skull and crossbones or something. But
Right.
but I think that's what's gonna make us, a little cool, is that we are gonna, it is a blue trail, but we are offering, there's some little hidden gems in there, because we
Yeah.
know that people are gonna start itching for the more steeper terrain, which we plan on building, and I want to get it done before this summer's over. So
Yeah,
you know,
dude, that
yeah.
looks cool. That looks like, this
So
looks like
yeah,
the
it's
same drop, yeah.
that's the same drop, and if you look that tree above them,
Yes.
that's gonna be the hidden option, and
I
yeah,
see it right up here.
yeah, exactly, and
Yeah,
it's like
coming
an
down.
extra 15
Ooh,
feet taller. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
dang. Dang. Dude,
Yeah,
that
yeah, and it was
that
it was
looks
actually our GM that pointed it out. That's another testament to how the team that's up there at Mountain High that wants to build this place up. He walked up there and was like, "Hey, look at this right here," and we were like, "Yes, there we go.
yes,
We're gonna
yes.
build that." so
So,
so
that's gonna be
it's
cool.
yeah.
Does the GM ride too, or just had the eye for that this could be a line?
He does ride. He does have his bikes, and he has an eye for things as well, you know, and I think his experience in being in the industry for so long has definitely given him that institutional knowledge of looking at something from a different angle, you know, and
Yeah.
and I'm all for it. I'm all welcoming for it. You know, I can honestly say that we're a motley crew when it comes to the trail builders because, you know, I'm a ski patroller. So are four other of the trail builders. But then we have snowmakers on the crew. We have groomers that are on the crew, and we have um, park staff, the terrain park staff on the crew as well. You know, and you know a lot of I can't speak for other resorts. I don't know how they do it, but having those different dynamics, you know, sometimes you would get you think it would be a little frustrating or nerve wracking because you know you have these different personalities. But I think because we have these group of guys and girls that love our resort, you know, we're just a little mountain that is what's making these cool little creative ideas, and it's showing in our trails, and I think just the sky's the limit now. You know, we're having a great time out there. It's a lot of fun. It's hard work. You know, anyone who thinks it's easy, you know, good luck.
Yeah, they haven't been through it yet.
Yeah, you know, I get people
Dude,
go, you know, Mondo, you've been working out. You've been looking pretty good, good shape. I've been working. I wouldn't say
yeah.
be working out.
Yeah, I've been working on the trails.
Yeah, yeah. So definitely helps
Dude.
with hockey and stick handling and stuff, and running a rake.
Oh, man, I bet. I can imagine too just, like, hiking up and down that trail, like,
Yeah,
all that steepness, it's gotta be, you know, a lot of hard work. When I look back on those trails, it's definitely steep. I mean, that middle section, that bowl section, I'm gonna go back
yeah,
to the map again and then, pull it out here for folks, because I was going to ask you, what the terrain is like, and then I do see that here we go, we have it here. Electric Trail Surfer is in the chats. MTB Kaz Ozeki says, "Looks cool, can't wait."
thanks,
Um,
man.
Electric Trail Surfer is saying, "Whoa, what's the surface like there? Is it?" I guess that's a good question. Is it like summit? Is it like valley? Is it? It's also
You
different everywhere.
you know they have a I wouldn't say we're like Summit or Valley. Valley's you know, and I'm not trying to. They've got some great trails. I'm not going to hate on them or anything like that. We noticed that we don't have that like sand.
Yeah,
Some of the
that
sandy
decomposed
areas that are
granite or what? Yeah,
yeah, that the granite that's decomposing. We have a lot of schist on our mountain range, um, but honestly, the dirt. I mean, it's Southern California, right? We're known for our dirt the way it is, and it's loose
yeah,
and stuff like that. And we have some
yeah,
great riders that come out of Southern California for it. But I would say that once our dirt gets wet and we compact it and we just stay on top of it, it's definitely a lot harder and it sticks together a lot easier. I would say we that was one thing that we were kind of like really nervous about with like sand or maybe possibly putting in pavers, stuff like that. Maybe in the long run, but I don't really see us having that issue right off the bat. There's not really too many sandy deposits or like that decomposing granite that is found just on the other side. We didn't really encounter that. We kind of really encountered more harder rock, and then just kind of like some clay here and there, and just straight dirt. You know, just kind of really
wow.
good hero dirt. Especially in the areas where we dipped into the trees. You know, where we really focused on making our berms and our turns, because we didn't want to have to rebuild them each season. Obviously,
Yeah,
after the snow season, we kind of with the exception of two big turns that we had to, and that green trail, we definitely stayed in the trees for a lot of our turns. I'd say about 90, 95%, 98%.
wow. That sounds
Yeah.
cool, man, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it has been a lot of fun. I can honestly say because we've had a couple of beginner riders come through, and they were just like, "Hey, like, everything's holding up. What are you putting in this?" And it's like nothing really.
It's just dirt
Just
out here, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I
So
wonder if
I
that
think
dirt is I wonder if it's similar to Sky Park dirt. I'm just trying to think in my mind, like, what it would feel like,
yeah,
you know?
you know what? Yeah, no, that's a good comparison. I would say. I never even really thought of that. We never really thought of that one. I would say
That's
we are
amazing.
close to that in comparison to them. Yeah,
Dang, that's amazing.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. So we're really stoked on it, and we have we have a lot of snowmaking all over our resort. Because it's Southern California, and we don't get hundreds of inches a year. But it's still pretty tough getting all that water everywhere.
Oh, I
So
bet.
but we managed to get it, and we keep on. We've been putting water on it almost every day and compacting it, and hopefully it's up to the standards and it holds up. I think it will, but we've had a couple of riders out from like Specialized and everything, and they're really happy with it, so we're
Dang.
stoked. Yeah,
That's cool. That's gotta feel good, man, after all the literally blood, sweat, tears, and
yeah,
brains that have to go into this. I bet that felt good to get validation from
it,
writers, like,
it
from
did.
Specialized, yeah?
Yeah, he came in as a really great guy, and he basically told us, um, your green trail is, not again. I really love my trail, and I'm not trying to brag, but he said, your trail is perfect, man. All I could think about was my dad, and that I think that my dad would definitely have not have a tough time going down, but he would come back um, for more challenges, and because
So
it would keep on
sick.
challenging. And for to hear someone say that, someone who was riding and really sending it and chasing it through the every turn and every jump, we were really stoked to hear that because again, it was just last summer was just a heartbreak. It really was sad seeing
Mm.
that that mountain just go up in flames.
That was such a crazy fire, man, and it hit so
Yeah,
fast. Everyone was like, "Wait, what's
yeah.
going on?" It's
Yeah, and it's just a huge testament to the firefighters and the first responders that, I mean, Wrightwood could have easily burned, and I know that
oh,
there were a
yeah.
few people that did lose their homes in Mount Baldy and in Wrightwood, and they were able to get it and stop it in time. So we were really thankful. We were just really
Wow,
thankful.
that's cool. Before we get into the blue trail, I wanted to turn to the chat. We have some questions coming in, and
Yeah,
they are okay. So I think we answered this one. Um, what is the surface like? We kind of answered this one already too. Do you like Snow Valley? So like respect for all of them. But go ahead if you wanted
yeah.
to.
Oh no, Snow Valley was great. I think I think their trails. There are some sandy spots that I know I took a tumble on, but
Same.
I can I can't complain. I'm just glad to have those types of trails out there and to learn from them and to build off of what people have gone and done before.
Yeah. Oh, we lost your audio, Mondo. Oh, there you're back. You're back. We lost your audio for a quick second, but I think you're back.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, there you are.
Can
We
you hear?
got you. Yeah,
Okay.
we got
Yeah.
you now.
Yeah, I think
But yeah,
my
totally.
headphone.
I agree with you. Like Valley is definitely they're also different, and it's just nice to
Yeah.
have something different in Valley. It's like a different type of writing. You gotta, drift into the corners and everything, and it's very loose over. Is it loose over hard or just loose over loose? I'm trying to think like what's the proper term for that, but it definitely
I'd say
takes a
loose
couple
over
runs to get
hard,
used to it. Yeah,
and
yeah,
not everybody, you can't be everywhere on the trail every day, and I think that some people kind of like to bash on resorts and stuff like that, or not even resorts, but like any type of trail, and it's like
yeah, you do have to be out there and you do have to, do trail maintenance, but sometimes, it's just the nature of the beast. You just don't get that, that luxury dirt, that hero dirt. And Southern California is not known for rain. So
Yeah.
it's
Right.
not a, it just happens to be that way. But I think it's a great testament to a lot of people in Southern California who are great riders and can go anywhere in the world and shred. They
Yeah.
do.
Yeah,
So
the writing is different, and it takes different skills. So yeah, you're right. It makes you a well-rounded writer for sure.
yeah,
Keeps us
yeah,
on our toes, definitely, definitely.
yeah,
And I'm like you. I'm thankful to have all the different places, and I'm really excited about Mountain High. I do love the fact that you can in like a in Southern California, we can go to all these different places now, and now we have one more with Mountain High, which is going to
yeah.
be
And
amazing.
that was the whole objective. I you know again, to go up to summit and valley, it's a trek, it's a push, and uh I do have some great friends that have some homes there. It's nice to be able to go there, or even go to Mammoth, and go pedal out there, which is also another,
That's right.
you know, legendary bike park.
Yeah.
But I think just being able to just have Mountain High right there, and hey, maybe we can't make a long weekend of it, but we can make a few hours of it. Why not? Let's go to Mountain High. And that's
Yeah.
what I wanted to bring. That's what I wanted to build. Just another option, and just another way to appreciate the mountain that I came from, and where a lot of my friends and family uh, came from, and a lot of my fellow employees that work there as well. We love our mountain, and we just want to see it grow.
Yes, I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait to watch it grow too. I love it. I think we kind of addressed this one, but what's up? Drop an MTB just joined the chat. He is asking, do you guys have building restrictions like Summit where you can only move so much dirt a year?
Yeah, and you know what? It's not really a restriction. I would say it's more of the Forest Service, and a lot of the governing entities that exist. You have to have an action plan for the year. And sometimes things are either overlooked, or they don't get included, or they just simply they get denied. And
Mm,
when we were doing a lot of this research, and cutting through all the formalities, and getting these permits, you really have to let them know what your plans are, because it's their job, and you can't knock them for it. That's what they're there for, because unfortunately, people will take advantage of it, and things can get destroyed. And I think that just being able to have a good plan of action, and having those resources available to you, because they're there. They come out. I must have walked our first trail, and did flagging with our forest manager maybe 3 or 4 times. And he was very informative of what we could and couldn't do, and what trees to stay away from. And I think it helped put his mind at ease, because we weren't trying to cut down trees. We didn't want to cut down any of the canopy. We wanted to keep all that stuff, because it's natural shade. It's cool.
yeah,
Being able to
totally.
run your bike along at Mach 2 by a huge tree, and miss it, and hit a jump next to it, and be halfway up it is always fun. That was something that we learned at a lot of these bike summits. Was you don't want to take away from the fact that you're going downhill on a mountain. Why would you want to cut any of that stuff?
Right. Oh, Amando, I think we lost your audio again. I, Amando, we can't hear you. Your audio. Ama- Amando's audio went out, you guys. I don't know if you guys can hear him, but he's definitely still speaking on that topic. We'll have to make sure we wrap back around and get to that. Electric Trail Surfer saying, I want to try Mountain High. I know, me too. Me too. Me too. Definitely. Oh no, Amanda, we lost his feed. He'll be back. He'll be back. As he is coming back. What happened to your arm, Mark? Oh yeah, I took a crash this last weekend on a very mellow jump, and it happened to be at a finish line at Dirty Fest. Dirty Fest. There's Amanda. We got him back.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on?
Yeah. I
Sorry.
had lost you a little bit back. You were talking about, having a good plan to being able to make sure that people don't take advantage and destroy things, and then keeping the canopy. And then I saw you talking, but we couldn't hear you from that point forward. Can, can you hear me? I think Abando's getting his earbuds back in. But dropping MTB saying pumped to give it a go this year. Let's see if I can help him on his side. Normally, Joey helps us with a lot of this stuff, but Joey's at his daughter's graduation tonight, which is awesome and crazy that she's graduating. There's Amando. He's back.
Yeah.
There we go. I can hear you. You sound good now.
Right. I don't know what's going on.
So we lost you at the point where when MTB drop in said, is there can you move? Is a restriction on how much dirt you can move? And we got to the point where you were saying we didn't want to take anything away from the trails. We don't want to take advantage and destroy things. We had a plan, and then
Yeah.
we lost you from there.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, you have to have you have to have a game plan and that intent. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes,
Um,
sound good.
yeah. No, you have to document all that and you have to turn it into the Forest Service and let them know what your plan of action is, And if anything gets kind of left out, unfortunately, you can't really tack that on. And
Oh,
you really can't. You have to wait until like the next, fiscal year and stuff like that. So, you know, um, sometimes it's just not, in the works and you just don't have the time or, again, with the way, the Forest Service works too, they still have to come out and send people out to look at things. And if you want to move, a certain amount of dirt, they have to look at that. They have to make sure that, where are you getting this from? Where did you mine this from? Did this come from
interesting.
erosion? Did it come from the side of your
Whoa.
mountain? Stuff like that. So there are a lot of factors that come into that, and
Oh no, we're losing his speed again. It's crazy to think that going into opening a bike park, you literally almost have to have a degree in business, horticulture, landscape architecture, engineering, and what else? Topography, geology. It's a lot, and probably law. As Amando's coming back in, we can somewhat hear you, Amando, but we can't see you. But we do have a question when you come back. Octodad out in New Zealand is asking, what advice do you have for ski resorts changing to MTB
I can't
and
hear
off
you.
season in New Zealand? So I wonder if it's similar or if each location is a little different. I don't know. I don't know. Um, let's see. Amando, we can hear you a little bit.
Sorry, I can't hear you guys.
Oh no. Let's see if we can get there you are.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we got you. Oh, your video feed keeps going in and out, but we can hear you.
hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh man,
Can you hear us okay? There you are. Hey, you're back.
can you hear
We
me now?
see. Yep. Yeah, you
No.
sound good. Can you hear us?
Oh man.
We could hear you okay. Here, I'm gonna put it in the chat. Can you guys hear him out in the chat? We can hear him. Here, I'm gonna type this in. We can hear you. There you go. There we go. We can hear you. Let's see. I'm gonna put this up. We can hear you. There you go. We can hear you. What else did I put? I'm gonna put, but your video keeps going
We can hear you.
in and out.
Why can't I hear you? Dang.
Let's see. But your video keeps going in and out.
More.
There you go. We can hear you, but your video keeps going in and out. Teddy
Video keeps
Parker.
going in and out.
Think it. Yeah, that's
Huh.
true. It could be the internet. Could be the internet just dropping.
Oh my gosh, this is embarrassing.
It's okay. You know what I'll do? Actually, do I
I
have your
think the
number?
internet is dropping. There is a fire close to my home, and I think that's what's going on. I don't really know.
Oh, gotcha. Oh no, a fire. Let's see. I am going to. I wonder if I can do the private chat. I'm gonna leave him a message for my number in private chat, and we'll see if we can switch over to radio style. Sending you my number on the private. Let's see. Let's see if we can get let's see. Teddy Parker says, "Is there a way to do audio only with a photo up?" Yeah, we're gonna try to move over to that. Let's see if we can get his audio here. Private chat. Call my cell. Sorry for the folks that are on Apple, iTunes, and Spotify. But this is kind of fun. We're figuring this out. We're having a little technical difficulty, but not the end of the world. That's for sure. We will get to. Let's see. It's funny because we can see him, but he can't hear us. Here we go. Oh no, that's not him. Or is this him? Almost afraid to answer it if it's not him, because then it would be another caller. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, Amando. I'm pointing to my phone. It's like charades. Amando, I sent you my number. You want to call me?
Did I call you?
Yes.
I did call you. Why can't I hear you? Oh my gosh.
It's okay. I know he's. Okay, is this him? I'm almost afraid to answer if this is not him. Okay, guys. Be right back, folks. Okay. Oh no, no worries. I'm gonna connect you. I'm gonna connect you to the podcast. I'm gonna let the folks know we gotcha. We gotcha. And we are going to let me get you to the audio. I just have to connect this real quick. Let's see. Give me a test 1, 2. Okay, almost there. Almost there. We got them, folks, on the phone. I'm going to patch it through to our system here so we can get them on. Let's see. Amando, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Oh, what's up, brother? Okay, we are back. Let's see if people in the chat can hear you as well. We have you on. Folks in the chat, can you hear Amando? Amando, can you say hi?
Hey guys, how's it going? Testing. 1, 2, 1, 2.
I think we got you. You're coming
Awesome.
through on my side.
Awesome.
Audio, keep chatting. He says, keep chatting,
Yeah,
Amando.
Let's keep talking. Let's keep talking. Let's do it. No, I'm having a great time.
I love it. This
Yeah.
is great. Nice. Sounds decent. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, let's
Sorry
keep
about
rolling.
that. Yeah, it's good.
We got okay, so where were we when it was cutting out? We were talking about
We were talking about just basically, crossing your T's, dotting your I's with just getting, permits for, being able to move things or cut things down. It's very important that you do that because, like I said, those entities, those governing bodies are there for a reason, and they do really care about the areas that we're working, and you just gotta do your homework.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds like it's a lot of planning, right? So, I hope MTB dropping that answers your question. So sounds like there are restrictions, but it's only to the plans that you submit on a yearly basis. And
Yeah, yeah,
outside of that, you kind of have to see what you need to do to change and then make those changes and submit them for the next physical year, it sounds like.
yeah, yeah,
Dang, man, who knew so much went into. So okay, let's get into the blue trail too real quick. So
yeah.
we talked about it's Little Pines, right?
Little Pines,
We talked
yeah.
about Little Pines. And then now the blue trail. The blue trail's called, is it
Coyote Creek.
Coyote Creek?
Yeah,
And that looks like it comes
yeah,
off the top, not too far from Little Pines, straight off the top there.
yeah. But it actually comes off of the eastern ridge. So we definitely tried our best to kind of separate the level of riders, the experience, but also you can connect from Little Pine via breakaway to Coyote Creek at the bottom there.
Okay, okay. That's cool. And this trail, when you go down, it looks like it comes down some of the really steep sections from what I can tell just from the map. It doesn't turn as much at the top. It looks like you go right into it.
Yeah, you go right into it,
I lo-
and it definitely introduces some people to some bigger jumps that are not really found on the green trail.
Okay.
Some steeper turns with some bigger berms, but yeah, it definitely introduces that intermediate rider to a little bit more options as well. There are some hidden gems in it, and we're really excited about that trail.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know a lot of people out here are jonesing to check it out. As we're coming down from the top, I can see we go right into it. And then where would you say the only thing that we can really compare by looking at it is that rock drop that we got a preview to a little bit earlier on Instagram? Is that
Hmm.
towards the middle, towards the bottom? Where would that be?
The rock drop,
Yeah.
that is, we kind of went big with that just because it's on breakaway.
Oh, okay. I see
Yeah,
breakaway. Like right in the bowl area.
breakaway. Yeah, breakaway is it's funny because the green trail is really long. Coyote Creek is pretty extensive as well. They're kind of they're just short of each other in length. Breakaway, being the smallest right now, has more of the surprises on that little span.
Oh, dang, that looks awesome, man.
Yeah, because we wanted to basically, if someone wanted to ride with their friend who is a beginner, we also wanted to give them the option of saying, all right, I'll see you at the bottom. And they're probably only going to have maybe like a 3 to 5 minute difference of getting to the bottom.
Right there. Yeah. And I could see you could break away right off a Little Pine and feed into Coyote Creek. It looks
Yeah,
like.
and Coyote Creek doesn't let up when it comes to, steeper turns, big berms, good step ups, tabletops, little booters. It doesn't let up at all.
Holy cow.
The boys were definitely like, yeah, we don't have anything that's, expert only or advanced trail, but we definitely want to introduce some of those things that are going to be coming up later on in the summer.
So what would we in our minds compare this to without writing it? Would it be like a really long blue steel type of feeling or something like that?
Yeah, that's a good comparison, I would say.
Dude, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Yeah. we just really wanted to basically, give the green trail its width and its good speed and flow. And we wanted to kind of change it up with Coyote Creek. Not too much, just kind of basically introduce the rider or give the more experienced riders the impression of, hey, like, this is going to get steeper. There's more jumps here. You're going to have your chance to really catch air and then flow into a turn and keep that speed. So, we really wanted to make these two trails very different, but in the same way, just kind of keep that same speed and flow.
So good, so good. I guess that was a question I didn't ask. And then, folks in the chat, if you have any questions too, as we're rounding up the podcast, go ahead. And now's our chance to seek some answers before anybody lays their foot on the trail this weekend. I guess I wanted to ask. Looking at the map, like all these turns that I see on Little Pine and on Coyote Creek, I'm assuming these are all like beautiful, smooth, buttery berms. Is what I'm imagining in my brain.
Yeah. And so that's what we were planning on doing, is just like, these turns that are on the green trail are big and wide and flowy. But now Coyote Creek has that same feeling, but there's features on it. There's jumps, there's scooters. So, we just wanted to have, a well-rounded, kind of introduction to everyone, basically letting them know, like, we have the widest trail in North America, but we also want to challenge you a little bit too.
Yeah, heck yeah. Oh man,
yeah.
Just being able to ride flow and berms like that, and with like your kid or your significant other or somebody who's getting into mountain biking, that'd be so sick. And then I love the option to literally break away from that and like, see you at the bottom, you got this, and then head over to Coyote Creek and just rail the rest of it.
Right. And the breakaway trail, that rock drop is not even, I would say, probably 150 feet from the entrance of breakaway.
Oh, that's awesome. So it's like the top, you just like drop right into it and it's action.
Yeah, there's a little squirrel catcher jump like right before it, but other than that, it's like right there, boom. Dude. Now you know what you're getting yourself into.
Like, hold on, buckle your seatbelt.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the folks coming up on Saturday for opening day, this Saturday, the 14th, what are some of like the local things that they should do if they're listening to this podcast on the way up there? Like, how is parking, getting tickets? Should they buy tickets online to make it easier? What do you recommend?
I would definitely recommend buying tickets online. There is a discount.
Oh.
Yeah, there is a discount. I do believe it's like a $10 discount, something like that. The veterans, I know veterans get a discount as well. And it's just a really easier process. They have the kiosk set up there for people to just immediately walk right up, and just like an express lane checkout kind of thing. We are going to have some rentals. I do highly recommend using the rental shop in town, Big Benny's.
Big Benny's, okay.
Yeah, Big Benny's. And I think that group, their little group in there is called Trail Masters. Those guys have definitely done their homework with a lot of their bikes that they got going up there.
Nice.
And I think we've done a really good job of getting a lot of the local shops. They're going to be doing some demoing up there, along with a couple of bike companies. They're going to be doing some demoing up there, along with like Fast House, Smith. They're going to be there, and we plan on having them every weekend at least for the month of June and July.
Dude, that looks fun. Yeah, I saw that poster on Instagram. Like, looks like a lot of good companies showing up. I saw Vans was going to be there too.
Yeah.
Vans is so fun to ride in. I love riding in my Vans shoes.
Oh yeah,
so
most
sticky.
definitely. Oh yeah. Our safety our safety and risk director was asking me like, what kind of shoes are you guys gonna be wearing? And I was like, my high top MTBs.
Right? Right?
Yeah. She's like, Vans? Oh yeah.
Yeah, that waffle sole is so sticky.
Yeah, it is, and it just fits right in. You can almost feel it just kind of like click into your pedal. You know, it just works.
Isn't that crazy? Right? Like
Yeah.
I've tried other mountain bike shoes and I've loved them all. And previously Etnies unfortunately got out of the mountain biking, but Etnies were awesome. And then my girlfriend, she's like, try riding in your Vans. And it was literally the time we saw when Kyle Strait was at Rampage, and he had some kind of like weird squiggle where it looked like he was sketching out and then he recovered real quick. And you got a good shot that he was in Vans, like the old school Vans. And you're like, well, hell, dude, if he can ride Rampage,
Yeah.
Vans, like,
Yeah, then I can do it.
I should be able to do it. This has got to help
Yeah,
me.
most definitely. Yeah, man, that guy shreds, man. Shreds.
Yeah, totally shreds.
No, Vans really knows what's up, man. Vans knows what's up.
Yeah, it's cool that it's awesome to see them getting involved in the mountain bike scene, and stoked that they're going to be out there at Mountain High. Looking at the lift tickets for the folks that are listening in, it says adult $42 to $49, scenic sky chair ride. I guess if that's you don't want to ride, but you just want to take the chairlift, 25.
Yeah.
Season passes. The season passes look good. $249 for a season pass for adult, $99 for a season for a child aged 5 to 12. Whoa.
Yeah.
How cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to give it up to just our profits manager. She's definitely done a good job and done her homework with the other resorts that are not even in our area either. She's kind of gone over in Colorado and Utah and seen their options, and she's really done her homework. So no, shout out to Tracy. She's awesome.
That's really cool. And it looks like, yeah, thank you, Tracy, for the cool pricing here. Kiddos, for your downhill bike ticket for the kids, $29 aged 5 to 12. And if you come up with a squad, it looks like 20% off for 4 downhill bike tickets. So if you come up with your crew or family, 4 tickets, if you're going to buy them anyway, you're going to get 20% off for coming up with your squad. Valid any weekend, no blackouts. 10% off.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, this is for season pass. If you have a season pass, those are some of the benefits you get.
Correct.
Okay, I see. 10% off retail with that season pass, 10% off mountain bike rentals, 10% off food and beverage, and free disc golf for the entire summer. Sick.
Yeah.
How fun. How fun.
Yeah, and I actually I got a great idea from I listened to your podcast, and I was listening to you.
Thank you, brother.
Talk to hey man, much love. You do a great job.
Thank you.
No, I want to do a quick shout out to the guys at Luis Senio, man. They gave me a great idea for the full moon rides, man. They have a great team out there, and I hate to say it, but I'm going to steal some ideas, man.
Yeah. they have some great, yeah, they have some. Yeah, I've never been, and I learned from them from your podcast, man. So I'm definitely going to head out there pretty soon here. I got some friends that actually live in North County and all that, so awesome. I definitely want to try out one of their full moon rides. Oh, that's perfect. You're going to love that Stonehenge area as well, and their run Coyote Chase is really fun. And then they have, yeah, you'll love it. Every bike park is so different. That's right. Luis Senio, we got Luis Senio, Sky Park, Snow Valley, Snow Summit, Mountain High.
Yeah.
Look at us go.
Yeah. Look at us, man. Southern California is going to be the spot, man. We got it. That's what we got to do,
Yeah, it's so true. And we got like the bike parks opening up everywhere now. Bradley Park. We just got that new one in San Clemente, the little pump track. Jeez.
Yeah.
Life.
Yeah, man. And like, like the pump track circuit in Southern California is just awesome. I remember growing up and doing it out here in a little town called Victorville, and they still do it. So yeah. I actually want to get us to be on that circuit as well. It's just the love of the sport.
Yes. Yeah, the pump tracks are so great, Mondo, because
Yeah,
I feel like it helps us with our riding. It's like something we can learn at the pump track and take it to the park or take it to the trail.
yeah,
Cornering, jumping, pumping, all that good stuff. It's
most definitely. And from like a builder's perspective, you want to feel that flow, and if you don't feel it, it people are going to feel it too, and it's not going to be a good trail.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point. Teddy Parker is saying there's a new one. That's right. The new Moreno Valley Bike Park looks sick. Like 2
Mobile.
pump tracks and 2 jump lines. So big. Yeah.
Yeah,
Motown's got
yeah,
something coming up. Dang. Dang.
yeah. My buddy who lives out in Canyon Lake, he's been going there frequently. He says he loves it. So
God, we're so
you know,
lucky. We're so lucky. And we
yeah,
could
we
we could
are.
ride this like all year. The bike park,
Yeah,
the pump tracks.
exactly. Exactly. That was something that why I wanted to do this as well. Is just Southern California winters don't last very long.
True.
And you see people come and go in the ski industry, and sometimes they're really great individuals, great leaders, great employees, and it really you get that turnaround, and it's just not good. It's not good for the industry. It's good for the sport even of snowboarding and skiing to mountain biking. You need those people to keep it going.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. That's true. And
So
speaking of going, people are hopefully going to be going for the grand opening of Mountain High Bike Park this Saturday, June 14th, opening at 9 a.m., going all the way till 4 p.m. There's gonna be music, food, vendors, raffles on opening day. It's gonna
yeah,
be fun. And if you're one of the first, I believe it's one of the first 100 people, Sunbum is gonna be there to give you guys a gift
yes,
to
yes,
be able to wear and take home. That's gonna be pretty sick. Um, Amando, after the ride, I mean, so we park in the lot. We bought our tickets online. If you buy your ticket online, again, that was like I think $10 cheaper to do that. And if you buy it there, you can buy it there, which is fine. How about
yeah.
like food and drink or anything? Should we bring that up and keep it in the car, or are there places there at the park to eat, or there in the town that you'd
Oh,
recommend?
they're gonna actually we're gonna have the Foggy Goggle open. That's the bar there, bar and barbecue.
I love that name. That's the bar, the
Yeah,
Foggy Goggle.
the the Foggy Goggle, man.
Yes.
It's a great name, isn't it?
That's a beautiful name.
Yeah, that's all going to be open, and they're actually going to be handing out coupons as well to the North Lodge, starting at 5 p.m. after writing's closing and all that. They're going to be having a live band, and they're also going to be having. I know that the chef up there is going to have his smoker running all night, and they're
Oh,
going to be doing barbecue as well.
oh, that sounds amazing, dude. That
Yeah,
sounds
and then yeah, it does. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no, no, no. I'm daydreaming about that already. The smoker going all night long with good meats. Oh man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're really planning to do it up, and it sounds really exciting. In town, they have some really great restaurants. What's it called? The brewery as well. The Wrightwood Brewery will have a multiple taps at the Foggy Goggle. Yeah, it's they're. And if you guys want to just go to the brewery there, they have excellent service, great food, great pizza. So yeah, it's the little town of Wrightwood has a lot to offer. Mexican food as well.
Dang. That sounds awesome. That sounds awesome. So, folks that are listening to the podcast, whether you're coming from LA, San Diego, Orange County, or the Inland Empire, or if you're coming from further away or the high desert, it's all right there. Mountain High grand opening this Saturday, June 14th, 9 to 4 is where the party is at. Get your lift tickets online. You can get them at, is it mountainhigh.com or
Yep,
what's the website for that?
I think it's mountainhigh.com. Yeah.
Mountainhigh.com. Get your tickets, and man, we will see you guys on the mountain. Amando, are you going to be able to enjoy some of the laps, or are you going to be kind of sitting back watching all your hard work, people enjoying all that hard work?
Oh, I'm definitely going to take some laps, but I think my number one objective is to be talking to everybody and seeing what we need to improve on, what they like, what they don't like, and taking down some notes and figuring out what I'm going to build in the future for them.
That's so rad. That's so rad. Dude, thank you for everything that you do for that community, our mountain bike community. Really looking forward to this, man. Another bike park opening in Southern California. This has been episode 181 with Amando, aka Mondo from Mountain High.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Hopefully we do this again.
Definitely. So I look forward to it. And thanks again for all the hard work, man. Thank you to the chat for tuning in, and we'll see you guys at Mountain High this Saturday.
Thank you, Mark.
All right. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for hopping on.
See you later.